Again, welcome. This is Jan O'Brien, WBNL Coaching. We have been doing a series, a 12-week series. We're in week 11 today on real estate agent team building. This tip is, as I just stated, near and dear to both Matt Emerson and my heart on culture. It's something that we both are very much on the same page about, and we've got some great content for you today. And I want to remind you that if you have just seeing this video for the first time, this is the 11th in a series of 12. And you can go to the Real Estate Team Builder blog, realestateteambuilder.com blog, and you can catch up on what you've missed and go back to anything that we've talked about. And today it's all about your culture is your best attraction magnet. So I want to go back to the very beginning when we started these tips. And thanks, Matt, you're here with me, so you're going to comment and on any of these things on culture as I go through this today and kind of tie it all into how culture really is the key for attracting talent to your team, and then most importantly, retaining that talent. Anybody can recruit somebody to their team, or their business, but the idea of who you really are and what you're all about shows up in the day-to-day, which is your culture, which we're going to get into in here in just a second. But remember, we like to start these things out with a comment and a question. What do you do for a living? When somebody asks you that question, real estate professionals, how do you answer it? Most people answer it as I sell real estate, right? Or I help people find their dream home and so on. So what we suggest here at WBNL Coaching, and that we teach and coach just about every day when we're talking to real estate agents, is to change that mindset and start stating things like, I own a real estate business. You're a real estate business owner. And this is so critical, because if you really get that you are the business owner, then and the things we're going to talk about today regarding what culture is and what culture is not is going to make sense for you. So as I mentioned, culture is your attraction and your retention magnet. In fact, it's such a big thing. I want to share this, and we have this reference in the blog today for the replay of this video. If you haven't seen it, the Real Trends, along with Dotloop, ERA, and Boomtown, put together a study that on teams, and they had 1,300 or so people in this study. And the results are in their thing, a download that you can get at the Real Trend site called the Real Estate Teams Playbook. And one of the pieces in there was huge to me because it's something we've been teaching for years. All the years I have been talking to people about team building, I always say it's not about the leads. And here is some verifiable proof of that. This is a quote taken from that Real Estate Teams Playbook. Culture is key. When asking team members about the biggest benefit of being a part of a team, the word leads was used only a handful of times. I have been saying this forever, and I love seeing that there is some verifiable proof of that. There's actual statistics now to back that up. Instead, they're saying words like synergy, accountability, knowledge, and support. It's the things we've been talking about on these tips. It's what we teach and coach in our Real Estate Team Builder program. So what is culture? Well, culture, simply is, it starts with you. You are your culture. Remember, you're a business owner, and what your values and your visions and your principles are the basis of where the culture is. Because that like attracts like, and you're going to bring those type of people, and it doesn't matter who you are, by the way. Hi, Cecily. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate you being here. Absolutely. Feel free to comment and jump in. We love having interaction on this Facebook Live. And we're talking about culture today. So if you have any comments on that, feel free to jump in and say that. So where I was going with that is, it starts with you at the top. It's your vision, your policies, your integrity, your leadership is the basis of what is going to be the culture in your organization. So make no mistake about it. If you already have that foundation, you already have the foundation of what your culture is going to be, and it's actually you. So we want to throw something out. Is it going to be me or we? And either one of those is okay. And here's what we mean by that. If it's about you, be really clear about that, because you're going to, and there's potentially nothing wrong with if the culture is going to be all about you, then be clear and recognize that you're going to attract people who are okay with that. Now, my personal opinion, I don't know, Matt, if you agree with me or not. I think that that type of a culture is attracting what you put out, but I think there'll be a lot of turnover ultimately. When you're truly we, when you're in the we mindset, then your ego self can set aside. Now you form the basis of that. You're the leader of your team. You form that, but you can't be a we culture when you're really a me, meaning that you're not showing up. Okay, so let me just keep driving on here about what culture is and what culture is not. The only way for you to create or change culture is if you are 100% behind it. You believe it and you can walk your talk. And that's what I was just referring to when you say whether it's me or we. So here's what culture is not, okay? And don't confuse. People sometimes confuse, and this is what both Matt and I have experienced in our corporate backgrounds, is a lot of times, and I've seen it in other companies, a lot of people think that leadership think, oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Back to Apple. It really was, you're saying it was about Steve Jobs. He drove that culture, and he really did. And things actually changed quite a bit when he wasn't in charge. We could get into a whole conversation about, is Apple better or worse? Yeah. That brought so much for so many. Very, very true. And then it's changed because of the change of leadership. That's a great example, and it's a good case study to actually talk about Apple. But what a culture is not, and what I want to go with this is that a lot of times, and I've been involved in this through my years in different organizations, is that the leadership team is drawn together by the CEO to talk about, let's figure out what our culture is. Let's create our culture. Well, that's the total opposite of the direction that needs to go. You already have a culture. You can build on your culture, and it is what it is. You can't fake that. Some people also think that culture is designed, you design the mission, vision, statements and so forth. But the problem with that is you can't get in a room and create that. You have to develop that from the whole organization, and it really needs to be showing up in the way everybody does. But we'll get to that in a second. And Matt is saying Zappos is another great example. Actually, Zappos is a great case study that we actually included in our real estate team builder about what they really live. That Tony Hsieh really has a different approach to what he wanted to create, and it's all about happiness and delivering happiness to within the workers and also the employees, but delivering that in their customer service. And there's a whole book he actually wrote on that, which I highly recommend looking at. So culture is not things that you do for morale builders. It's not the cool things that are just in Google. It might be an offshoot, meaning like really cool office environments and having karaoke nights and birthday parties and different events and fun nights and getting the group together. Or if you're in your team, that's not culture. Those are team building events, and that helps with the morale. Okay, so that's not what culture is. What culture is what shows up in the team. Okay, so it's first and foremost what you see. In other words, you can't literally say your culture is one thing, and then the employees and your team members are running around and they're saying something else. So you know that you're in alignment with what you believe the culture of your company is when you are seeing it from the feedback in your clients, when you see it on the faces of the people that work with you. When you're really clear about what your big why is and what is that value proposition that you bring, but it trickles down from what you say it is to all the other people that are on your team, and they're in the same alignment with you. One of the things that I always have said when coaching agents is that when your values and your principles are clear, decisions are really easy. And what that means is you hire to what your culture is, what your core values are. And you'll know if you have the right alignment when that person gets on board. You'll know initially if you go through a good interview process. But when somebody comes on and they maybe did a great job interviewing with you, but they're who they really are shows up and they're not in alignment, then it's really easy to make the decision to have them, terminate from the team. The other thing that happens is when everybody is in alignment and that culture is strong and you're clear about what it is, a person who comes on who doesn't fit will find themselves leaving. Okay, so this can't be a bunch of platitudes and stuff on a plaque and things that you get together and you pull off the internet and say, this is what we're all about. It really has to come from your heart, who you are, you walk the talk, You have to decide if it's me or we, and you have to really live those principles and truly come from that place. So that's really what when we say, how do you create culture? Well, you already have a culture. That's what we wanted to be able to say today is the culture, your culture already exists. There's things that you can do to cultivate and work on that culture. Once you kind of get clear about what it is, there's certainly things that you can do, and it shows up in the things. We've got a bunch of the list of things for you to look at when you check out the replay today on our blog. Make sure you're recognizing others. It's a classic thing in Good to Great, if you've ever read the book Good to Great. Jim Collins talks about this thing called level 5 leadership. And a level 5 leader is someone who looks out of the window when things are going good and gives recognition to everybody that's around them. And when things aren't going so great, they look in the mirror, meaning they take responsibility if things get messed up or something's not right. A great leader takes responsibility for that. That's what we kind of mean by, how do you build that culture, is that if you're a we culture that you're a level 5 leader is a great. You totally embrace this team concept. It's not just a TAM, together, each of us achieves more. It's not like, again, a nice little saying or platitude. You actually live and believe it. Because when you do that, when you have a path for the people that join your team to grow, and you're good with people getting even better than you, as an example, those are all kind of key things with level 5 leadership, then you really create an environment and a culture that attracts and retains the people that you want. But I hope this is making sense today, that it's not something you pull out of a book. You just really has to come from who you are. And good or bad, it doesn't quite matter. Whoever you are, if you're good with who you are, you'll attract the people that are going to work in that environment. You don't have to be you don't have to be Google. You don't have to be some other company if that's not you. Be who you are, and you'll attract the people that want what you have. And remember, back to the beginning of what we talked about here today, is people are joining your team not for leads. Yes, they are going to think it's leads. But in all the years I have been managing real estate offices, I have been in companies where I'm like, this is the best company ever. I know I provide great training. I'm a good manager. How come I can't get all the people to join me? It's because they're okay where they are, or they like the culture. They may not like everything that they're in. They don't like change. There's lots of reasons why people don't leave. And it's a whole other story about recruiting, for example. But what I'm going with this is that people want culture. They want leadership. Those are two key things. And they want the culture that aligns with who they are. That's who you're going to attract. You don't need to attract everybody to your team. You need to attract the people that are going to fit your culture. Support your culture and create this dynamic business that then bleeds through to the consumers and what the consumers have to say about you, and you'll have a lasting company, a lasting real estate business. If you really embrace this, okay? So you can't make this stuff up. You have to do the work on who you are. You have to align with what those core values are, what your beliefs are, what your vision is. You have to hire to that. And then here's the most important part. You have to live that every day. You can't fake it. People figure that part out. And that's where you will have the success of building a successful team, retaining great people, and having them leverage, and you'll be happy about them doing well working with you. This culture piece is so huge. It can't be overlooked. So we really encourage you to do a little more work on that. Take a look at the things that we have for you in the replay today, and I think you're going to find a lot of great stuff. Let's talk about how we're going to finish up this series now. So we are bringing it all home next week with the tip number 12, which is how to build an asset, which is what we've been talking about. And I'll recap what is that asset. To create your exit strategy, or another way to say it, how to find your replacement and or sell your business or team, obviously. So that's how we're going to finish up this series. Again, everything is on the realestateteambuilder.com site. There's a blog there that has the last, today, the 11th tip will be up, and the entire series is there with the replays and some additional notes and content for you. I want to remind you that our signature product here for this supporting real estate teams can be found at realestateteambuilder.com. This is totally our turnkey, complete system. No kidding, folks. If you're thinking about building a team, you're not going to find anything like this on the market. We have it. Maybe someone else is going to come up with something, but we've had this product out there for a year. almost a year. We launched it in May of, actually not even quite a year, May of last year, and have several clients that are going through this, that we're coaching, that are taking all of our materials, everything that we've created from A to Z, training manuals, all the systems and forms, and then we coach you through it in our videos. Just go to realestateteambuilder.com and you can find out more about that. If you're not ready to build a team, you may want to check out WBNL Coaching. We have a 30-day free trial, exciting stuff there, great content, a 12-module course that's the underlying systems for team building. You need that actually if you're not ready for team building. You may be building a team right now and realize you don't have your systems in place. Well, that's where WBNL Coaching Wanderers Club comes in. Give it a try. You'll get a sense of the quality of the material that we've created. We're very proud of what we've done. It's a life's work, all available to you. And you can try it out for 30 days free and see the other things that we do. Monthly trainings, weekly coach tips, monthly marketing kit that you can send out to your client. And coming in 2017, we're taking it up a higher, and we're not increasing the price. It's only $44 a month after that 30-day free trial. We are literally going to give you a daily social media post, some of a image and content that you can put on your social media sites, delivered to you 30 days at a time, so you will literally be able to kind of own what you do in social media. Plus an entire course is coming in Wanderers Club on how to use social media, real estate, for real estate and for your business, okay? So that does it for us today. Culture is key. It is literally your magnet, your attraction magnet. Go to realestateteambuilder.com or WBNL Coaching. I don't see any questions. Yes, we're calling that WBNL 365. Thank you, Matt. That's what I was just referring to in our Wanderers Club, launching in 2017. For the low price of $44 a month, you basically get virtual coaching, training, great content, plus daily social media posts, all for $44 a month. Great, Cecily, thanks for learning a lot. Reach out to me if you have any other questions. You've got my contact information. And anybody else, I'm just looking to see if there's anybody else. Rita, hey, great to see that Rita, you joined. Hope all is going well for you and Fred. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. Reach out to me. You guys have my numbers. All right, we'll see you next week for the conclusion of our series on real estate agent team building. Jan O'Brien, Matt Emerson, signing out. Thanks.